Record. Welcome to your day one February Coach Academy kickoff call, and I am so excited to have you guys on here. It's the thing that kind of gets me most excited about everything in my month personally. I can remember this kind of new coach call for me literally like it was yesterday, and I remember the feeling of being absolutely terrified, excited, terrified, had no idea what I was doing, felt like it was a baptism of fire. And if you're feeling anything like that, please just know that it's totally normal. For every single one of us that is here and leads a successful coach business, we have all been in exactly the same place as you. And I just want to start the call off by saying, just give yourself some grace. If you feel like that, it actually wouldn't be normal if you didn't feel like that. So don't think like it's not normal, just embrace it. Lean into this group, because this is going to be your Coach Academy group. And we run Coach Academies, as you probably realized, once a month. And really the main reason for that is that you guys form this relationship. You lean into one another, you support one another, you are on the same journey at the same time. And honestly, it really builds the most phenomenal friendships, the most phenomenal community, and ultimately the most phenomenal teamwork and success. And that's why we do it like this. So just enjoy it, because it's going to be so much fun. So I'm just going to share my screen to start with. I've got a little presentation to share with you guys to really bring everything together for you, hopefully. So hopefully by now, I know some coaches literally joined last week, some joined yesterday, but hopefully you have managed to have a one-to-one call with your personal coach, the coach that enrolled you. It's not Monday the 6th of January, so please excuse that. I'll blame that on homeschooling, reason why I haven't changed the team cover. But just really embrace this, okay? The things that I'm going to outline here, hopefully your coach has outlined with you on a kickoff call, but really the reason for this is to just get you in a succinct learning, understanding place where, okay, my coach spoke to me about this makes a bit more sense now. Okay, so we're really just going to be giving you an overview today in the hopes that it's going to pull everything together for you. So there's really 3 things as a new coach that you need to think about. And I spoke to my new coaches yesterday about this, and I essentially sort of say it's like 3 pillars. They're 3 fundamental pieces to your coach business that as a new coach you need to embrace, okay? And at the base of what we do is picking your program, sticking to the nutrition. I know a lot of you guys I've spoken to about the importance of not only picking a program. I think most of you are doing 21 Day Fix, but if you've done the programs with us before, you might be on a different program, and that's totally fine. But also adopting Ultimate Portion Fix, because ultimately 80% of your results are going to come from your nutrition, okay? For those of you guys who maybe don't understand Ultimate Portion Fix, or potentially finding it a little bit overwhelming, you've looked at that nutrition, or actually you haven't even looked at that part of the Beachbody On Demand platform yet, just let me know. I've got a recording that I did with some of my coaches about 3 weeks ago that really explains how it works. It makes it super simple. Okay. The second thing that you're doing once you've started your program, and in that little thread I was talking about, make sure yesterday you started kind of day 1 of a program. Or again, if you're a coach that has been a boot camper before, you may well be partway through a program. So that's totally fine too. But making sure that you start that. Okay, the second thing that you want to do, and again, hopefully you've had this from your coach, the email that gives you that link to the Beachbody Champions Facebook training, and that you're cracking on with that. And really, as we said in that sneak peek, you need max an hour a day, okay, to do all of this. The Beachbody Champions training is in the units section in that Facebook page, and is really chunked down into little mini videos. So even if you work full time, which for the most part most people do, this is a business you build on the side, usually of a full-time job, you can do it in little small chunks. Okay, so just make sure that you start that, because otherwise as we go through and you want to adopt business without this going on in the background with everything that I'm doing with you and Joe and Sarah on these calls, it's not going to all tie up and make sense. So it really is an amazing kind of training, but it is built to be done alongside that Beachbody Champions training in the Facebook page. Okay. And the third thing, and this really is the most fundamental, I'm going to go into some detail about it in a second, is personal development. And honestly, when I started as a coach, I said to my coach, what is personal development? I just don't need a self-help book. I've had a really successful career, you know, that kind of attitude. Like, I don't need that. And actually that was the reason I really did need it in my life. I had a really closed mindset. I thought I was better than all of these self-helpery books. And really, you know, I know Joe and Sarah will say exactly the same. Ever since I've become a coach, the growth in my mindset is really testament to my success. Without me doing that personal development for 15 minutes every day, and I promise you, I literally listen every single day, you never outgrow it. I would never have got to where I am with my business. And in fact, I don't believe any coach will get anywhere with their business unless they're committing to doing this every day. So imagine you've got kind of the physical health with the physical fitness, and then the fueling your body, but also the mental health. The strength of mind is going to come from that personal development. And those two books are the ones that I recommend. You're a Badass, I must have listened about 7 times. I know most of my team love that book. And it's just a really good foundational book. Or Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis, who probably some of you guys might know quite well. So I'm just going to go into a little bit of detail. I'm just going to ask Joe and Sarah as we go through at the end of each slide if they want to add anything, because sometimes I've missed something or they've got a different take on things. And what I really want you to take from this training is that you'll understand and learn to recognize that each coach runs their business in a very different way. And there's no right or wrong, okay? And so you're going to find commonality with different coaches. And that's the joy and beauty of this business, okay? It's not one size fits all. It's not you have to be this person, you have to look like this, and you have to do it exactly like this. People will find different ways of doing stuff. But this training is really to simplify things for you as new coaches so that you have just a cut and dry plan to get you going and enjoying it. So fitness and nutrition, as I said, that's kind of bucket number 1 on that first slide. Take a before photo. I'm not sure I actually told all of my new coaches to do that yesterday, but obviously the reason why we do that is because the business that we work in is a results-based business. Whether we like it or not, what we do is help people with their fitness and nutrition. And ultimately, the platform that we showcase that on is Instagram. It is a very visual platform. And for that reason, you better bet that a photo speaks 1,000 words. I kind of hate it in a way because I don't love to boil the fitness and health journey down to just a physical picture because it's so much about mindset. But what I notice, and is absolutely unanimous, and you'll come to realize and recognize, is that when you have a transformation and there is a change in your physique or your shape, even, I'm personally never looking for weight loss. Some coaches are, some aren't. The engagement on that post is unlike any other post that I will post. Okay, so that shows you that people want to see it works, right? They're like, you're talking the talk, you're walking the walk, but does this actually work? Okay. And really your absolute proof as a new coach where nobody trusts you yet, right? No one, you just started this new thing. Like, will it work for them? They don't know. The only way that they can see that it might work for them is if you get a transformation. Okay. And so that is literally the next 3 weeks. I want you to think like that. Transformation, 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 okay? Because it makes this business unbelievably easy, okay? If you are following that ultimate portion fix, which just imagine, like, what kind of coach do you want to be? Do you want to be a coach that kind of half-heartedly adopts the thing and doesn't really get the results and kind of feels a bit phony talking to people about it? Or do you want to be the coach that's like, I've gone all in, I've followed the nutrition, I've done that workout program that my coach said do, and I've got the results, and now I don't want to shut up about it. And I will tell you guys that any coach, as a new coach that sees success, is literally doing that. That is all they are doing. They are not magic. They are not unicorns. They're not super special. They are just saying, right, I'm going to take my before picture. I'm going to follow that nutrition plan. I'm going to have my superfood every day. And I'm going to see if this works for me. Because guys, what we don't want is you guys to be like, hey, this thing's amazing. And then you're not following it. And then you're not feeling the results. And then it does feel super, it doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel organic. It doesn't feel natural because you haven't felt that benefit for yourself. And that's where the love and passion for this comes from, guys. Like, I fell in love with this because of my own results. And that was the point that I decided, man, I want to share this with everyone, because you don't even need to go to a gym, and I've never felt better. Okay, so it's just super simple from that side of things. It's just that commitment to doing those things. Here it says, follow the Beachbody Guide to Nutrition. We have Ultimate Portion Fix now included in your challenge packs, which is a far more extensive nutrition course. It is unbelievable. It really is one of the absolutely unique things we have at Beachbody, because you can follow it for you and your goals according to the workout program that you're doing. And it's not putting you on a diet or meal replacement shakes or, you know, eating all the wrong things. Okay, you're going to have your superfood every day, and you're literally going to share your journey. Okay, and we'll go into a little bit more detail in a second about sharing your journey and what that looks like. First things first, though, do just make sure daily when you do your workout, a lot of you are doing 21 Day Fix, that you're sharing 2 to 3 clips of your workout each day. As a new coach, I didn't even know how to turn the camera around to face me, okay? And I know you guys won't believe that, but I didn't, okay? And that was really how I came into this. I didn't even know that my iPhone had video on it, because I never did videos. Like, I started 3 years ago. I'd never done a video on my iPhone in my life. So getting a video of myself I was like, I don't even understand how all these coaches are even doing it, okay? So if I could do that as a new coach, you absolutely can. And it doesn't need to look super pretty and beautiful. Actually, the more relatable that you are right now, the more you're going to connect with people who are watching you going, wow, she's doing that new thing. And it's not perfect, but she's actually showing up every day and she's posting her clips. You know, that's going to build trust and connection, because they want to see you at the start of your journey as they can imagine themselves at the start of their journey. And you better bet the start of their journey isn't going to be perfect either. Okay. And then after that, just 1, 2 video to camera stories talking about how it made you feel. People aren't going to be interested in what is the workout program, how long are the workouts, what type of workout was it. They want to know how it's making you feel. So maybe write that down or take a photo, and you're going to be releasing endorphins when you finish that workout. So it is the absolute best time to just do a couple of 15-second snippets on your Instagram stories. Terrified the crap out of me as a new coach. I literally had never done a story, I don't think, in my life, let alone a video one. But lo and behold, my friends and family started to join me, okay, because they could see the enjoyment I was having. Jo and Sarah, do you want to add anything there? Just unmute yourself if you do.
Yeah, I think, when you're doing your stories, like as he says, just it only has to be a few seconds, but literally just be you. Just be, you know, if it hurt and you're sweating and, you know, you're struggling with it, then be you, because that's exactly how I've attracted people to me. And if anyone's watched any of my stories, I mean, like yesterday, I was literally, I think I put an emoji up saying send help. I couldn't even move my legs yesterday when I finished. So, but I got so much interaction from that, absolutely loads of it. So it's just about being you and just being really real. That's what people inspire to. So,
yeah.
The only thing I'd add is I know what it feels like, and Izzy says the same. You know, she didn't know any of this stuff when she first started, and I know exactly how that felt like when I started before Christmas. And when somebody says to you to do that for the very first time, it can be really daunting, and it can make you feel quite nervous about it. So I'd say just reach out to your own coach and talk it through, and they will help you. Personal development will help you to kind of build that confidence enough to do it. But some of this stuff that we're going to go through from the very beginning is going to be a ripping the plaster off moment of doing things that you're not necessarily comfortable with doing immediately, because we know it works and we know it's the right thing to do. So that's, I just go with that one.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks, guys. I think it's, as I said, it's just always so useful to have other coaches' input. We all experience different things as new coaches, but all really, really good stuff. Thank you, Jo and Sarah. That's awesome. Personal development. This is like, if you follow me, I'm obsessed with this stuff. Like, this is everything, in my opinion. And as a new coach, I definitely didn't believe that. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to need that. I won't need that. this is going to be the absolute fundamental to your success. So much so that I'll never forget a coach that I've become quite close to in the States who's done amazingly well. She's like 10 years into the business. And she will say to her coaches, if you are ever considering missing your workout or your personal development, miss your workout. Okay. And I want you guys to remember that. And I want you to remember it so that you don't ever skip it, particularly as a new coach. I remember saying after about 10 days, 2 weeks to my coach, I'm just finding it really hard. And she was like, Izzy, are you doing your personal development? And I was like, no. And she said, this business won't work for you unless you are willing to start doing that. So really promise us that you're going to do it. You're a Badass is a great one. Some people find that the American voice grates on them for a little while. She is absolutely awesome. Absolutely love Jen Sincero. She is hilariously witty. And you can read the book as well. And then the other one that I recommend from kind of a professional development perspective is Get Over Your Damn Self, which is more kind of a professional development book, but really gets you in the mindset of being that new coach that is setting up their new business and the actions that you need to take and why. And again, that was a book that I actually picked up as quite a new coach. And I still use strategies from that book today that I learned as a new coach. And again, if it wasn't for that book, I'm not sure where I would be. So it was really kind of fundamental to my growth. So I would just say, like, bare minimum, you're a badass, but really if you want to come into this business and do well, you're going to listen to this book or it's only available in Audible for about 5 minutes. You only need to listen 5 minutes a day. I listen because I'm really time poor. I'm homeschooling at the moment. I have a very difficult 4.5-year-old who is having tantrums, and so being able to listen is the only way that I can take in this stuff. I listen literally as I'm getting dressed in the morning. So that's what I would say. Joe, Sarah, do you want to add anything?
No, other than just seconding that I was like Izzy. I was from a career perspective where I just thought I don't need this stuff. So I'm just going to echo that again because it comes from two of us. Which is you just don't appreciate how much you still have to learn until you start reading, and go at it with a completely open mind, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. Being open-minded in this business is everything. So to summarize, with your training, it's the Beachbody Champions Facebook page. The link should have been in that welcome email for you to click, and then you put in your coach ID. And guys, please don't worry if you're not already in there, because this is why we're doing this training today. Okay, so if you haven't got in there yet, please don't sweat it. I say minimum do a unit a day, really, because what we're trying to do here is get you guys learning about the workouts and stacking the idea of the business on the top at the same time. Habit stacking, you might have heard that phrase, but if you're doing a bit on you and a bit on your business, that's really just how your business is going to thrive once you've finished your training anyway. So we say a unit per day because it's just going to bring good momentum into your business. There isn't really a reason, in my opinion, why you wouldn't be able to do a unit a day if you have got an hour minimum a day to get through those units. And it says advise Izzy, but advise your coach when you have completed unit 3. Okay, and at that point you will get on another one-to-one call with your coach. Really, the reason for that, guys, is so that you're accountable to your coach, that you have kind of earned that call with your coach once you've got up to unit 3, and also so that when we get on that call with you, we understand where you are training wise, so that we can give you kind of the next tips to move your business forward. So hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday-ish this week, you will have finished unit 3. And I would just put that down as kind of an aim for you guys, to get there by then. The other thing that I just want to share, and the reason why I share this so early on here, is just because sometimes we have people that come in and they're like, oh my goodness, I've just told my friend about this and she wants to do it with me. How do I get them started? And so it's always good to kind of front foot this so that you guys know. We always enroll our clients with a challenge pack, okay? The challenge pack is exactly what you guys have all enrolled with, okay? So you enrolled with the fitness, the ultimate portion fix, and the nutrition, okay? And customers whether or not it's a coach or a customer, get access to exactly the same package you have. So they're going to get exactly the same pack in the post with the superfood, the containers, the ultimate portion fix, and that workout platform for a year. They're just not going to get the coach side of things if they're enrolling as a customer. And the reason why we do that, and I always like to explain why, is that if we were just to enroll them with the fitness, we can only ever get them nominal results. Okay. And the reason for that, as a PT hat on here, is that 20% of your results are going to come from your fitness. Okay. And we offer the total solution. And what I've found through learning the hard way is that if I've ever enrolled somebody just with the Beachbody workouts, they never get results. They never believe in it. And then I leave feeling as though I haven't done what I said I would do, which is get them those results. Okay. And we can only get them those results if they are going to get that total solution. And so that's why, as coaches, it's our responsibility to ensure that they understand the value of that. And of course, again, please don't worry if you guys are brand new, you haven't seen the value yet, right? This is why you're here. Your first kind of couple of weeks, really, guys, are going to be digging into that training and just pouring into you. And I can remember this part of my journey and just thinking, this is so cool. Like, I've been with my 18-month-old for ages. I actually haven't done anything for me. I couldn't afford a PT. This was my opportunity to work on me and get the very best results for me. And I loved it because, I mean, I'm a bit of a geek. I love to learn and grow. So like, doing professional training, learning about being a coach was something that I looked forward to, that structure in my day. So just enjoy it, and just know that with that, organically and naturally, your belief and love for what you do will just shine through, and then you inevitably want to share it with other people. Jo, Sarah, do you want to add anything on that point at all?
No, I don't think so. I think that's covered everything.
Okay, cool. I will move on. So, setting up your bod group. And a lot of you, in fact, all of you guys, when you enrolled as a coach, I know that Beachbody send you an email saying, set up your bod group, okay? And setting up a bod group is the very first thing that you will do before you start helping people get started to run your own little groups. And hopefully all of you guys that are new coaches are in a bod group or are in your coach's bod group. If not, please don't worry. Again, just message your coach if you're not in one, ask them for the link to that group and ensure that you're added. Because of course, right now, before you set up your own group, what's really important is that you understand and see how these groups run and see how coaches run them, so that when it comes to you setting up your own bod group, you're like, well, damn, I know exactly how to do that. I've been in one, I've been, contributing. And I would just say, guys, as a coach, just because you're not running your own group yet, start to be that coach, okay? So contribute in your coaches group, share your workouts, share your superfood, share your nutrition, share how you felt. The more you lean into this community, I promise, the more you will get out. And team and ethos and community is the lifeblood of this business. So if you don't like communities and being parts of teams, it probably won't be for you. And I want to be honest about that, because it's just one of the most beautiful things about this business, particularly now. Remote community has never been more needed. Facebook groups, we did used to do Facebook groups. Bod, the app, came out in May last year, and before that we didn't have that app, which I will just tell you as new coaches is insane, because before that we didn't get any of these lovely there are guides. So there are challenge group guides. So when it comes to setting up your own group, a lot of you are doing 21-day fix, and as your coaches, we're going to advise you to just do another 21-day fix group, because you will have done it. And bod groups will just give you that functionality and say, hey, what program do you want to do? Oh, do you want to use these check-ins? And you can schedule them out, which is just incredible. It's really built to support you if you're working full-time and doing something on the side like this. So it is amazing. Canva is where I do a lot of my visuals. Sarah might even chat about what she does in a second. I think she purchases like sets from, I think, Pinterest, but there's, there are amazing shortcuts that you can take for creating little check-ins. And again, these check-ins, guys, won't make any sense to you yet if you're not in a group. So please don't sweat it if you don't understand exactly what I'm talking about. But when it comes to setting up your own group, you are going to set a start date, and then you're going to start asking your friends and family, okay? And I want to be really brutally honest and say this next kind of 3-4 weeks, most likely you are just going to be approaching your friends and family and friends of friends, okay? Because they are the people that trust you already. And as soon as you ask them, they are going to start watching you. And as you get these results, that's going to lure them in. And that really, for me as a new coach, was the motivating factor. I'd invited my friends and family, and then I thought, well, SHIT, I better make sure I get these results now, because that's going to be really embarrassing if I've invited them to join me and I don't get results with this program. So Sarah Jo, do you want to add anything? Sarah, you might want to add about the check-ins.
Yeah, so just on that one. So I do struggle with bug groups, I'm going to be perfectly honest, because I want to give a lot more to my bug groups than I sometimes have time for, because I work full time. I have a really busy life outside of that in terms of my animals, my kids. Occasionally I talk to my husband. I kind of try and fit him in, and life is really busy. So, but I know what I want to be able to give to my group. So one of the things that I managed to find was on Etsy, there are in fact people who create visuals and content for you, and that you can buy as whole packs. So just as an example, that's just one of them. So I spend £18 a month, which I now do, and comes out effectively of my earnings through my Beachbody account. And I buy that content all ready to go, so I can effectively schedule my day 1 to 30 of my bug group content in terms of things like mindset and not so much the actual fitness. The fitness side does come through the content that Bod itself provides you, but all the other things that I like to add in terms of coaching actually comes through that. So there are, as he says, there are tips and tricks and things that we've picked up along the way that we'll be able to share with you to make life easier. But ultimately, the more that you can put in, the more that you can give into that group, the more people will get out of it effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is, as Sarah's just said, that is the lifeblood to your business. You know, a lot of the coaches on this call, actually, for me, have all been challenges of mine. In fact, all of them, I think. So that just goes to show you that if you build a good relationship with people in these groups, and they have a good experience and they get good results and they want to come back for more, they may well want to join you in time, if indeed you want to become a coach. And so, of course, building trust through those groups, making it enjoyable, making it inclusive is just, and encouraging is so fundamental. And that's always going to be at the core of your business, guys, those groups. Cool. Jo, did you want to add anything? You good?
Sorry, I keep muting myself. Husband's got the football on in the next room.
Yeah.
It's a bit loud. No, not really. I think that's pretty much covered. I use Canva, which is an app. No, it's not an app, is it? It's a website, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it is an app too, although I can never get the app.
Is it an app as well? Yeah, I do
yeah.
I do it on my laptop. Yeah, but I use that just to make my little visuals. I'm a technology dinosaur, so I just go for the simplest, plainest thing every time. But it seems to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't overcomplicate it. I don't stress myself out with it. I just keep it really plain and simple. But yeah, it's a good app to use. That and WordSwag. That's a good app as well. Yeah.
That's it. Write those down, guys. WordSwag is, Jo, really good point. WordSwag is an amazing one, and I think it's
yeah, that's really easy to use.
You can find pretty much any picture from anywhere and just type writing on the top of it. I do love that app. Okay, and then I'm just running you guys through exactly how this next few weeks is going to go. You don't need to do this today, okay, but this call is really to manage your expectations, to set the bar, I suppose. This is what you're going to be doing. Prepare yourself. This is the thing that overwhelmed me the absolute most, okay? So if you're looking at this text where I've even opened my mouth and you're thinking, oh my God, I can't do that. That was me, okay? handwrite, I mean, you can type it up. I don't know why I've written handwrite. I mean, you could handwrite it. You could also type it. A list of 100 names, friends and family and friends of friends. And I remember this task and thinking, I don't know, 100 people that I can ask to join me. But actually that was rubbish, because in my Facebook, I think I've got over 700 friends, and I don't build, i.e. I don't add people in Facebook. So that's always been the case. And really, I did have 100 people to invite. I was just too scared. And I would sort of go to write a name down and then say in my head, I can't invite that person. They won't want to join me. Okay, so just be aware. If you want to start doing this list now, go for it. Go for your life. I would love it if you start writing this list. But really start to think about, okay, who do I know that might want to do this? I would get a highlighter pen, 2 colors. Who might be a great coach? Because sometimes as coaches, you guys know people already that would be interested in the coaching, and who would be a great customer potentially. Okay, and just write them down, as I've said, highlight them. There are invite scripts in our team page, which is that new Team Hustle and Heart page. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. But I'm really pleased now that our workout groups aren't also on Facebook. So hopefully Facebook is very clear to you. It's Beachbody Champions page, which is for your training, and then our team page, which is everything coach related for our team, ongoing training. And in that files section, there's the invite scripts. And in actual fact, in that files section, guys, there is the coach handbook. Okay, and it's actually a really useful document. So that's in there now as well. But, if you feel confident enough to actually, invite scripts are and aren't relevant here, okay? If you know people quite well, I would never send them something that I would send someone I don't. It would just be a touching base, asking them how they were and letting them know about what I was doing in a way that is conducive to the kind of relationship that I have with that person. If I went and sent them a script that I would send somebody I don't know, they would think I was probably quite strange. Okay, so just think about that. Just be yourself. Just imagine, and I know a lot of us haven't had face-to-face conversations with friends for ages because we haven't been able to see them, but just imagine, I think the easiest way to kind of get you thinking in the flow of how that conversation might go is imagine you're face to face with them. How would you talk to them about it? And that's the kind of thing. And we're going to do a workshop call on this, so you're not alone in doing this, and you won't be alone in doing the invites. We will ask you to start trying to do that yourself, but we've got a workshop call for this particular part, this training. Joe, Sarah, do you want to add anything?
Only in that, just I guess in terms of a bit of context, so what you're asking people to do effectively is to come and work out with you. So in this first month, you're going to be going on a journey for yourself in terms of following a program and sharing that with other people in terms of the fact that you're going through that yourself. And all you're going to be talking about at that stage, in this first period is, do you want to come and do that with me? Do you see what I mean? So don't get hung up too much about that. I think that sometimes you can read this kind of slide in terms of invites and scripts and kind of reaching out and get a bit get a bit tense about it. But the reality is you're going through something that actually you're going to really enjoy. And all I did when I started was I'd reached out to my mates who I knew were also struggling from a fitness perspective in my case with young kids or with working, and simply said to them, should we do this together? So it wasn't so much a coaching thing, because obviously you're right at the start of your journey. It was more of a, shall we do this and have some fun? And that's just to put a bit of context on it to begin with for you.
Yeah. And that's so right. And I'm kind of envious of being at that point of my journey, because it's literally like arm around your friend. Hey, I'm doing this thing. Should we do it together? Can you do it with me? And that really was kind of the most unique connection ability that you have with your warm market. Because of course, as you move through your fitness journey and you become physically fit and strong, and you become less relatable. And I'll be honest about that. My biggest struggle as a coach is that people are like, but you're already really fit, so how could I do this too? Because I'm down here and you're really fit and healthy. So just, I think, learn from what I didn't do, and I didn't reach out to enough people. And that is exactly what Sarah said. Hey, I've started this new thing. Should we do it together? Because you'll be running a little group, and they'll be doing the same program as you at the same time. And that is super fun. Even now, when we have new launches as coaches, doing it together as a coach group is just unbelievably fun and energizing, even for the most experienced of coaches. So, maybe you've got old workout mates. They're your kind of people that would be like, yes, I'm in lockdown. There's a pandemic. I can't go to the gym. What better? You guys are in this business at the best time.
I was just going to say exactly the same thing to that, which is, right now when I'm talking to somebody about coming and joining my wellness group, if you like, and in your case it would be reaching out and saying, do you want to come and work out with me? I literally have people going, oh my gosh, yes, please, can I come and do this with you? Because they're in that place, because that people are in that place where they really need that. They can't get to the gym, they can't, they need it for their mental health. So, what I certainly say to my own coaches when we're going through this journey together is, do not think you are going out there to sell something to somebody. Get that right out of your head right now. If you think you're going to walk out there and sell a product to 100 of your friends and family, it is not like that. We are in a place right now where we have something which really, really, really is needed by an awful lot of people. And what you've done as by joining the group effectively is start to shine a light for other people to gather around in terms of a piece of positivity right now. And that's the way you've got to think about it as you go through this next month.
Yeah. Such a good point. And a point that I didn't see until I'd helped my first person, because I was like, I didn't know how it felt to help somebody. And I'll give an example just so you guys can kind of feel the context. The other day, a mum friend of mine, whose child is in the same year as Arthur, she started doing the programs. I've got a lot of mums from Arthur's year doing it, not because I've asked them to do it, just because they've reached out to me and been like, Izzy, help me out. And she contacted me and she said, Izzy, I've got a friend that's really struggling. Can you chat to her about what you do? And I said, yeah, of course. So I got on a call with this lady who lives locally, but I don't know her. And, she burst into tears on me. And she had 2 young kids. And she said, this is such a big decision for me because I've let it slip so much. It's so emotional for me. And it almost made me cry. And you realize the value of what you hold in both hands. It's not just someone's physical fitness. It's not just working out and having some superfood and doing your nutrition. It's changing their whole life. And I said to her, don't worry, you've made that decision. That's the hardest bit. And I promise you that I've absolutely got you, and you're never going to feel like this again. And obviously I come from that because I know how many people I've helped, and it's undeniable that this works and that it does change lives. And it's when people say to me, what are you selling? It literally makes my blood boil, because it is never, ever, ever, and it should never be about selling anybody anything. It's just sharing what you do and sharing with them what you do. And some people want to do it with you and some people don't. But yeah, I just wanted to share that story because it is like, when you help people who really need your help, particularly now, it's pretty invaluable. So what you're going to do, how are people going to know what you're doing? Well, they're not going to know what you're doing unless you show up. Okay. And showing up is in your social media. And I'm not saying you need to post 50 stories a day. For any of my coaches that watch me, I probably post about that many. Now, I just want to put into context, I'm 3 years down the track. I do this full time. I work my business probably 4 or 5 hours a day. Okay. And that's where I am with my business. When I was a new coach, I probably got maximum 10 stories on my grid. I was a new PT, grinding out hours training clients. I was teaching fitness instructor classes. I was often teaching 3 spin classes a day. I had an 18-month-old son who was in nursery 2 mornings a week. And my husband was in London all day long. Okay, so I was literally showcasing my messy AF journey, right? It was not organized, it was not tidy, it did not have structure. And that's what Sarah was sharing, like, or Jo. It wasn't pretty and it wasn't perfect. And that was what made it relatable, right? Because people could see, oh, she's doing this thing and she's just sharing bits of her day, and now she's in the gym, and now she's on the way to pick up her son, and she's fitting it in for her. Okay, so really think about your stories in your Instagram. And some of you might even not have an Instagram account yet, or if you do, it's very small. Your stories are really the best ability you have to really build connection with people, because you're letting them into your day to day. Okay, and I know for me, that was a real struggle. I'd never been someone that was big on Instagram. I hadn't ever been on social media. When I worked in corporate London, I don't think I knew what Instagram was. I had a photographer friend who went on holiday with, who said, Izzy, you really need to get on Instagram. It's the place to be. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I just don't really like the look of this. I don't want to put loads of photos on there. So just know that if you're feeling a bit about it, again, it's perfectly natural and normal. But what you'll again realize is that as you start sharing, you'll start getting messages from people who are like, wow, you're doing really, oh my goodness, look at you, you're amazing. You'll start getting that, you just will. These next couple of weeks as a new coach, you will start getting those messages, and it will make you realize that it's not about you being a big show. It's about inspiring and helping others. That is why you're there. That is why you need to show up every day, because you have a job to do, and that is your business, to help others. And we can't help others if we make it about us and we say, oh, I can't do that because I'm too scared. And I always think about that. Is it about me being too scared of what people think of me? Or do I make it about them, and therefore I need to share what I'm doing because actually I'm going to be able to help people? So just think about it from that perspective. So 10 minimum stories a day. As I said earlier on, 3 workout clips ideally. So just little workout clips. Guys, write this app down because it's amazing. And it's one of the first questions we get from new coaches. The app that a lot of us use is Unfold. Okay, and it's a free app, and you can put your little video clips into a little grid so that they feed onto your Instagram stories. You're going to share one nutrition story. Okay, so that could be your breakfast, it could be your lunch, it could be your supper, it could be your snack, it could be whatever you want, but ideally it needs to be like you obviously following the healthy eating journey. Okay, and then 1 or 2 of you talking about what you're doing, what it's doing for you. Okay, so as we said earlier, not like, this is a 25-minute workout, this is this and this, and it worked this. Okay, maybe you did that, but how's it made you feel? How did you feel before and how do you feel now? That's what people want to see. Like, they see themselves in how you felt before, and they want to feel how you feel now. They're called pleasure and pain points. Really important to bring people on that journey. Really, really important. And I would just say, like, the easiest time as a new coach, or even for me now, to talk about how it's making me feeling, honestly, is immediately after I've done my workout. And hopefully you've been doing a couple of clips of your workout anyway. So guys, this shouldn't take you 10 hours. This is 2 15-second clips of you talking about it. And again, as Jo said, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be honest and real. And you know, if you're like dying on the floor, as Jo said, like, share it. People want to see that. People want to see that you're finding it hard too. Your life in general. And this was probably the biggest area I struggled with, as I said. I think it's very common. As a new coach, I hadn't really let people into my life. I wasn't really massive on social media. I had a little boy. I didn't really want to let people in. I didn't feel comfortable with it. So this isn't you having to show all of your family life all of a sudden, okay? It's just a couple of posts. It could just be, I don't know, like earlier on, I've got a new weighted blanket and I just shared a story about that. It could be you thinking about your next holiday and sharing you looking at that. It could be you're having a gin and tonic. You know, I love gin and tonic. I don't drink 10 a day, but I have a gin and tonic each evening. People that follow me know that. I might share that I've gone on a walk. Okay, so just maybe 1 or 2 stories, because the biggest place where you're going to build trust with people that don't know you, that will start watching you in your social media, are people who are like you. Okay, and if we just showcase our fitness and nutrition journey and nothing else, they can't really find much more commonality with us other than just our fitness and nutrition journey. And if you think about how many people there are on Instagram who are into fitness and are just fitness girls, you can see that there isn't really a niche there. It is about finding your tribe. So think about, what kind of things do you do that are different? You know, I share motivational quotes quite a lot. I'm a motivational quote kind of girl. I've always been that way. So that's, like, I suppose, my life in general as well. And share your superfood. So share that you're having your superfood every day. Really important, guys, if you haven't spoken to your coach about this, that you have it every day. It's chock full of prebiotics, probiotics, adaptogens, phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals. It doesn't replace any of your meals. It doesn't have any crap in it whatsoever. And it's like a multivitamin in that sense. It takes a little while for it to build up in your body. And I remember my coach saying to me, Izzy, just have it for 2 weeks. Do not miss a day, because you won't feel the benefit. And I did. And after 2 weeks, I literally couldn't remember feeling that good as an adult, full stop. I just couldn't. I felt insane. I'd had acne all my life. It absolutely blighted me and my confidence, absolutely blighted me, and was a reason why I wore a lot of makeup, and it cured all of my issues with my skin. So all of you are going to experience different things. That some people get IBS and it alleviates the IBS symptoms, you know, strong nails, strong hair. I haven't had a cold for 3 years. So, you know, just believe it. This is seriously superfood. But it's going to be important to just share that. You don't need to like chat on and on about it, but just share that you're having it. Jo, Sarah, do you want to add anything?
Just to say that it is quite okay to do this around your day. So for anybody that has followed what I've done previously, you'll see that I do quite a few of my stories first thing in the morning before the boys get up. My workouts and everything else happen really early. Then I will have a bit of a break. You won't see anything till maybe lunchtime, and I will post something at lunchtime, and then I'll have a break, and then you'll see me post something in the evening. And that's because I work, and that's fine. That's just how, you know, my life is. And so when Izzy talks about sharing, you know, the reality of what you're doing, that includes when you're likely to be posting your stories. You know, for me, in my case, and Laura, similar to me, the animals and country life is a big thing. So, you know, so I post bits of what's going on with those, and it's kind of, you know, it just adds more to people's understanding of who I am and what I do. So, but don't fret if you have a daily routine, you know, and you work and all the rest of it. It does genuinely fit in around that.
Yeah, really important. Jo, do you want to add anything?
No, and I'll be like 100% honest. Since we've been in lockdown, my life has been literally boring as hell. So I literally haven't had anything to share, and I've struggled a little bit because I haven't even been walking the dogs much because it's just grotty weather. So you know, don't stress too much over it, because sometimes there just isn't anything to share. So I'll just share something like me running a bath, or like I had a glass of wine earlier and I just put that on my stories, but just so people sort of get the gist of what's going on in your day, really. But yeah, that's all really got to say.
Yeah. And you know, you'll see those two completely different, right? Sarah's like flat out working, she's got, you know, horses and things, country life, and Jo feels like she's not got that much to do, which again is going to be relatable to both kinds of their people, right? And for me right now, I'll be honest, I'm probably a bit like Jo. Having a bath is the highlight of my day. Having a gin tonic is the highlight of my day. Going to the supermarket is like, wow, oh my God, I've gone out to a shop and this is literally like I've gone on holiday for 2 weeks. So, you know, but that's normal. It's relatable. So yeah, don't sweat it and just fit it in when it fits for you. Like certainly as a new coach, there could be no prescribed time that I was going to post this stuff. It would just had to be done in the day. As long as you get it done in the day, it's fine. And yeah, again, bear in mind, if you're doing videos, they're 15-second clips, so it doesn't need to take much time. Okay, so just as kind of like to get you focused on, okay, what then is my mission this month? What should be my goal? What should I aim to achieve? You should aim to help 3 people this month get started in a group of yours, okay? And I'm not saying you need to do that tomorrow. That's by the end of this month. You've got the whole month. And I'll be honest, usually coaches enroll their first clients some week 2, mostly week 3 and 4. So please don't think, oh my God, I've got to find 3 people. we don't want you to be stressed out about this. If you are doing everything that we're training you on, and you are doing what we ask of you, i.e. everything we've shared with the social media, and you've done that training in Beachbody Champions page, I promise you, hitting Success Club will be an organic response to everything you're doing. And I say that with real confidence. And the reason I say that is that we do have one of the most successful teams, okay? And we have one of the most successful teams that produces consistently women that join us who start and do well hitting Success Club right out the gates. So I don't want you to put lots of pressure on yourself, because I just want you to know that if you trust us, then if you follow this strategy and you just be yourself and you enjoy it, our motto of our team is enjoy the journey, right? Just enjoy it and embrace it. You will naturally do it. The other thing,
Izzy, sorry, can you just let Sammy back in? Her signal went.
Sorry, yeah. Okay, hold on one second.
Sorry.
No, that's right. Don't worry. It's fine.
Signal went.
No, that's okay. I think everyone's signals are going. It's just life in lockdown. I was going to say, with that social media, I should have added, make sure you do 1 post a day. Okay, sorry, I missed that. But really importantly, showing up in your grid, which is obviously, you know, when you go into people's page, is really important, because it's that permanent piece of your business. Because stories are they just disappear after 24 hours. Okay, so having a post every day, and again, as a new coach, that was a struggle of mine, because I was like, what the heck do I post? What do I post about? Okay, you really want to ensure that probably 2 or 3 posts a week are based on your fitness journey. And after this call, I'll share some visuals that will give you some posting ideas. Okay, and again, your training in Beachbody Champions is going to help you a lot with that too. So sorry, coming back to where we're at. So hitting Success Club. Success Club is you helping 3 people get started with one of those challenge packs a month. Okay, and that should be your goal. And as a new coach, that was really all I worried about. It's not going to be perfect. I'm not going to do everything every day, because I was working so many different hours and juggling my son. But in my mind's eye, there was no way I was going to finish my first month without hitting Success Club. If that was something that I needed to do as a new coach to build a successful business, that was what I was going to do. And that mindset, it just made it happen. And any of the coaches here that you see that are seeing success, Joe, Sarah, I'm pretty certain they'll share that was just the mindset they held with it. So if you hit Success Club 3 out of your first 6 months, you don't even need to hit it every month, you're a Success Club starter. And that for you means not only that you get your ticket to our annual event in St. Louis in America for free, it means you get entered into a test group for a brand new Beachbody program, which means you are getting to experience that program as they film it, which is just the most insane experience, you know, an incredible opportunity to propel your business as well. So it just really should be the goal for that reason. It really shows, in terms of like people they've watched to see typically where their businesses go, those people that become success starters are unanimously the people that have longevity in the business and see long-term success. And that is why we want that for you. We don't really want to be that coach that has you come in and says, do you know what, if you don't hit it, it's not really a big deal, because we want you to be successful. We want you to lead your own businesses and do well. And ultimately it's like 1 person almost every other week. So by way of summary, I don't want to keep you guys on all night. I'm aware it's like sort of already an hour already. You are going to have completed week 1 of your fitness program. You are going to do your coming out post, okay? And after this call, not only am I going to share the posting ideas, I'm going to share what my coming out post looked like. And hopefully Joe, Sarah, Francesca can share theirs, that you've just got a few ideas. But really, it's just a post saying, I've started this new journey. It's all a bit scary. I'm excited. I'm scared. Watch this space. I mean, that's the long and short of it. You can make a longer post of it, but that's really kind of the message. And a picture, whatever picture you want to post. Okay, whatever picture you want to post. And by the end of the week, if you're doing a unit a day, we would really like you to have finished unit 5 by the end of this week. So you might just want to take a photograph of this page, guys, so that you can just do it as a little checklist, right? Am I keeping up with this? 7 days of personal development. And I can promise you, if you have never done personal development in your life, after a week of listening for 15 minutes, you are all going to be saying, wow, I just feel amazing from doing that. I can't believe how much of a change it's made in me. It will just be unanimous. You're going to have set up your group, okay, with a start date, okay? The start date doesn't need to be next week. It's probably going to be sort of 3 weeks from now, if not towards the end of this month, because we're right at the beginning. But it's a short month, so actually that works quite well. And you're going to set up that bod group. Again, that training is going to be provided in the Beachbody Champions page, so don't get overwhelmed. And you are going to have a list of 100 names, and you're going to start talking to them about it, inviting them. Jo, Sarah, do you want to add anything?
No, just basically, if you know, especially my coaches, if you need any help with any of this, then obviously just literally message me and I'll jump straight on and help you. But really lean into the personal development side of things, because it really will make a difference. I know both of my coaches are actually already really confident on social media anyway, so I don't really have any worries there. But yeah, if you need any help with any of it, just lean in and ask. No worries.
Yeah.
So the Beachbody Champions training is really, really good. So anything that we've talked about that you just look at, you know, and it looks like Martian at the moment, it will get explained as you go through your training. It will all become clearer, if you like. And then the other thing I was going to say, and to excuse my French on this one, but when I looked at this for the very first time, I literally went, oh shit, you know, what have I got myself into? What am I doing? Where am I going? And that is a perfectly natural reaction, because at the end of the day, you're doing something brand new. You're doing something that you haven't seen before, but there is something inside of you that said that this was a good idea when you first spoke to your coach, and that you can see, you know, what we've done and what we've created and who we're helping off the back of it. So some of this is going to be a case of, you know, as Izzy always says, leaning in, which basically means trusting the process, trusting the person that's invited you to be here in the first place, and going with it, because you're going to stretch the boundaries of what you're comfortable with in the next 4 weeks. And that is pretty cool, because not a lot of people do that. An awful lot of people sit on their sofa and do absolutely nothing to develop themselves. And that's what this is going to do for you in the next 4 weeks.
Yeah. And it's growth. It's exactly what Sarah said, it's growth. And a lot of us aren't used to personal growth. We think we are, but we're actually not used to it. So when you feel sick and you're worried and you're scared, just know that that's you pushing out of your comfort zone, and the only thing that's going to come out of it is positive, and that's growth. And yeah, as the girls have just said, lean into this group, share, comment. You know, I will be shouting my girls out, Jo, Sarah, Francesca, you know, as you guys do little things. You don't need to be major things this first month. In fact, they don't ever need to be major things. We will be cheering you on, okay? And it's so amazing to get behind the coaches in this group and just work together as a community. It's a really magical feeling. As Jo said, individually, if you have questions, you don't want to share it in your group, I know we've got coaches here that are going to support you. Okay, so if I'm your coach, reach out to me. Sarah, Jo, Francesca, we are here for you. We have been here. We know how scary it can feel. We know how overwhelming it can feel. Like, what about this caption? What about that caption? Is this photo okay? You know, that was literally me. I second guessed everything. So go for it. And with that coming out post, take that before photo today, and that coming out post, I would implore you to do it today, if not tomorrow. I know it's late in the UK. I'll share what I did. And again, when you've done that, share it in the group and we'll all go in and support you. And if you can, just even now whilst I'm on this call, just drop your Instagram handle name in that chat, right? So that every single coach on this call can go and follow you and therefore support you as you post and you share things on your journey. Has anybody got any questions?
I do.
Yeah.
Just a really quick question. So you, like, the main goal is to kind of start figuring out who we would want to reach out to. And so when I still have to do the training programs on the actual Beachbody champion group. So I know once I go through that, things will become more clear. But in terms of if someone does express their interest, where do we first send them to like get them to understand more of what we're doing?
Yeah, so and Beachbody Champions will get to that, absolutely. That's what that training will cover. But if they do, reach out to your coach, number one, because each of us has a different way of dealing with it. Or reach out in the chat thread. Like I send emails, some people send voice clips, some people send messages. So there are different ways of doing it. But as and when that happens, just let your coach know, because I think it's really important to not just have a blanket, this is what I do, because it's going to depend on the person. And therefore, I think it's just going to be really important at this beginning bit to just have really open dialogue with your coach so that they can help you with that specific person. Because some people, are, particularly if they're friends and family, like I'm probably not going to send them a really long email. I'm probably just going to get on a call with them and chat it through. And your coach will help you explain that and understand that. So I think to go into all of that now with the overview would just be too much. And I think it is very individualized for where you guys are at right now. So yeah, just take it a step at a time. When you get to that point, just know that we will absolutely have the answer for you, dependent upon whom that person is and the kind of conversation you want to have.
Okay. The only thing I say, Liv, is don't be surprised if it happens, because certainly in my last group, and I know Chessie will say the same thing, in the last group that I had in January, I literally had one of my new coaches come to me within 48 hours to say, what do I do now? And I literally talked her through that process virtually as she was on the phone with somebody else, if you like, to help her understand what to say. And it was still natural, but she just didn't know the mechanics of where to go. So absolutely, just reach out to whoever your coach is, and they'll talk you through it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And there is, if you haven't done it before, it's like, then what do I say? So we've all been there. So just don't worry. And as Sarah said, we'll just guide you through. That's just what we'll do to start with. Perfect. Any other questions? How are we all feeling? Are we feeling excited, overwhelmed?
A little overwhelmed and excited.
Overwhelmed and excited. Yeah, that's pretty common to come together.
Can I just ask,
yeah,
when do you actually mention Beachbody?
Yes, really good question. We don't.
Right.
We don't until we have got all the way down that conversation. They understand what it includes, and then they get the enrollment from us. And the reason for that is that what we do has Beachbody sitting behind it, but so much part and parcel of what we do is about your personal marketing, about them buying into you, not the product, right? If we're just talking about the product all day long, we're just the product, not the person. And this team, most people that are successful within this business will rarely talk about the specific product. So yeah, just explaining what it is. And again, Jo will have templates for you on what she does to explain exactly how it works and what it is. And then when they want to enroll, that's the point that they'll know it's Beachbody to get on board. So kind of stories wise, like you won't ever see me showing Shakeology or my Beachbody on demand. Again, it's personal preference, but I know from kind of experience that people see most success when they make the brand about them, personal branding. Beachbody is the vehicle that sits behind us. People buy into us and they want to join us because we're us, not because of the brand that sits underneath, which was something I didn't really get for a long time, honestly, but I now definitely get it.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
And people actually rarely, they don't, unless they come from another sort of kind of like a marketing firm, or they've sort of heard of it before, or they know someone that's doing the same sort of thing. No one will ever ask you anyway, like who you're affiliated with, or if you work for somebody, or it's strange. It's a question that really hardly ever comes up, is it? People just don't really ask it. They're more interested in you. People are buying you rather than the actual product.
And that goes back to that concept of, ultimately what you're creating is a coaching business. So you are a coach and you are going to coach a group of people to go on a journey to be fitter and healthier. We just happen to use a toolkit that's provided by Beachbody. Is the way that I look at it. And then when I've talked to people about it in the past, it's irrelevant which platform I've chosen to use. If I'd been setting up my own business, I could have gone and done it with, Les Mills or anybody else. But, for me, that's my toolkit. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I love that.
Another question, if I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
The bod groups. Joe, I must actually join yours then so that I can see what's happening. But
Yeah.
I'm sort of a wee bit confused. When you invite people in, if I set up a bod group and I invite someone in, do they then have access to the workouts?
They have.
Yeah, because when you're signing someone up, you're signing them up like I signed you up. So you'll send them a link like I sent you.
Yeah.
And then they'll enroll and make their payment, and then they'll have instant access to the app just like you've got, and they'll be able to sign in and see all the workouts. So they'll have their own sign in, and then because they'll be a client of yours, once you've sent them the link on your coach office, there'll be a little button that will say invite to group, and you just click on that and it'll automatically invite them to your bod group that you've set up.
Right. Okay. That's
I'll show you how to do all that. It's all in
Yeah.
the training, but I'll show you how to do all that.
That's where I was getting confused, because I thought earlier on when Izzy was talking, she meant that you invited people in to let them see what you're doing first.
No, sorry.
No,
No.
right.
That's literally
Yeah.
what I thought. Sorry to just jump in. That's literally what I was about to say. I think that's what the confusion is, because we're saying invite and then you invite to the bod group. What you're doing is you're inviting people to join you on working
Yeah,
out
right.
and such. And
Yeah.
then when they've actually signed up and everything, that's the point where you bring them into the bod group, because they actually
Right.
have access at that point. You're not inviting them in to that bod group.
Yeah.
You're inviting them to join you.
Yeah. That's
Sorry,
fine.
Izzy.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, no,
Okay. I'm
it's
just
awesome.
sorry, my last question, and then
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. No, it's fine.
and this is a really stupid one. Is there any best time to take the shake?
Doesn't really
No.
matter. I have my mid-afternoon. I have the Energize and Recover, so the performance pack. So I tend to have my Recover after my workout, so I don't have my shake in the morning. But before I had the performance pack as well, I would have my shake mid-morning. Sometimes I have it mid-afternoon. So no, doesn't matter.
Right. Okay.
Other than routine, if you
Yeah.
get a routine, you'll stick with it.
Yeah.
So the single biggest mistake I made when I first started was I tried to just fit it in the day, if you like, and then I'd get to the end of the day and I'd realize I hadn't had it. So if you can set in a routine, like for me, it's I now, when I would have had my rich tea biscuits in the office at 10 o'clock, I now have my superfood with fruit in, so it hits my sugar craving, if you like. So as long as you're on a pattern with it.
Yeah, good point.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions?
Can I just clarify, Izzy?
Yeah.
You referred earlier to invite scripts on the team page files
Yes.
section.
Yes.
Which team page? I'm
Our
getting
team
confused
page
with all the
is,
pages.
don't worry, you'll get used to it. Our team page is New Team Hustle and Heart.
Right, yeah.
That's where I've
okay, that
introduced you. That is our team page. Whenever I talk about team or what we're doing and you don't know what we're doing, just go to that page.
Yeah.
And I would just maybe pin the group so that you can access it easily. And in your settings, make sure that it's open so that you can see every post. Because usually with Facebook groups, I didn't realize this for ages. Some of you guys might know this. It's set to just show the highlights, but you'll just want to make sure you can see everything that goes in there. Because there will be some, when I'm posting in there, I'm either congratulating someone or I'm alerting you guys to something that I feel is helpful, or Joe feels is helpful, or Sarah feels is helpful, or, as this team does well, Francesca will be shouting our coaches, things like that. So yeah, it's always New Team Hustle and Hearts is our team page. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions? No? Okay, so we are going to do a boomerang. And I know for a lot of you guys, you have never done a group boomerang before, and you're probably thinking, what the heck is that? And I don't want to do it. but we'll do it anyway. So you can just wave or do whatever you want, to be honest. It doesn't matter. I'll just count you down and then you can just make sure my screen's clean. Hasn't got Arthur's hands all over it. Right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. Hopefully that's been really helpful, and I will post after this call my coming out post, if my other coaches can do that too, and the suggested posting ideas. And yeah, just think about your coming out post. All right.
Okay.
Have a good
Bye,
one.
guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.